So we're a coalition of community organizers and advocates who came together after the murder of George Floyd. And we were very concerned about what we saw happening around the country, but also within our own community. And we wanted to come together to respond to this national moment, but to also find solutions for the city of Sioux Falls in terms of dealing with accountability and transparency and fairness in our justice system. You know, Voices is an organization that gets things done, and they're a group of earnest and heartfelt and intentional advocates and organizers. And so it's meant everything to us to have their leadership and their support in helping us to come together as a coalition. I think Voices really is a beacon for this community. You know, prior to its existence, there weren't as many people here that were representing those voices and the needs of this community. And so it means a lot to have them here to serve as a beacon for fairness and peace and justice here. And I really hope to see more support in the community for them and the work that they're doing for our people.
So the South Dakota Justice and Equity Coalition, we brought that group of individuals together after the murder of George Floyd. And one thing that we have really done was stressed education amongst ourselves before we can really dive deep into the policies and procedures of local organizations. We understand that there is a root problem, and that root problem is systematic racism, and we want to make sure that we remove that systematic racism from each and every single organization, not only that we're a part of, but that affects our everyday lives here in South Dakota. So we really have dove deep into educating ourselves on what policies are equitable and what policies lead to equality. It's specific to South Dakota and sometimes specific to our region in Sioux Falls and Brookings and the Vermilion area. But we really strive to be equitable in not only the changes that we're trying to make, but the future generations as well. Man, South Dakota Voices of Peace has been an incredible asset, not just as a partner for the coalition, but just as a community partner overall. Their knowledge, their dedication to the community, their dedication to people has been irreplaceable. And it's something that you really can't put into words. The amount of change that you see, the amount of hope that is driven from just that organization alone, it keeps people moving. It gives us a reason to continue to fight. And so their dedication to community, dedication to people, and their selfless drive is just something that I envy personally, but I know many other organizations also envy.
The Glacial Lakes Multicultural Center is a relatively new member. I think we are the newest member. However, I really appreciate the mutual support and the forum which we have to share our work, share our hopes and our dreams, and the struggles that we have. I am very happy, very grateful to feel part of a group and not feeling that I'm struggling alone or that we're struggling alone here in Watertown.
I would echo that. The South Dakota State University Public Humanities Initiative is very grateful to have this connection in this space where we can do this outreach work together. For us, it has meant really extending the imperative of the land grant mission, right? So the land grant mission states that universities should be accessible to the communities that they serve. And that includes our refugee, immigrant, just in general newcomer neighbors. And so it's just been really great to connect with all of these communities that we would not have had access to individually, and also really to put our money where our mouth is. This work quite literally gives financial support to those communities. And we do other outreach work, but I know that this has had an impact. So it's just been delightful to be part of this coalition.
I would just say that Bienvenidos a Brookings is a very new organization, a very small organization, and it needs the resources of others with more experience and resources, and the Dream Coalition has certainly provided that. And it is reassuring to know that from Watertown and even north of Watertown to Sioux Falls and south of Sioux Falls, we have like-minded people that have the same desire to help those who need our assistance to make it here in this state.
I'll say something, Tanisa. So on behalf of the Unity Ethiopian Community Association, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for coming together as an immigrant group and forming this coalition to give back to the immigrant community, to raise this fund and help our community and the larger immigrant community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Naomi Ludeman, and I'm the Deputy Director of South Dakota Voices for Peace. I hope you're enjoying the birthday party, because I want to tell you about a great program that we just recently launched, and we really hope it's going to continue into the next year, only because you've supported us as great followers and friends of South Dakota Voices for Peace. That program is called Cohort of Courage, and this first launch is specifically for faith leaders from across the state of South Dakota. It's a competitive application. We had nearly 30 people apply. 21 faith leaders and community leaders from across the state are part of Cohort for Courage faith leaders. Well, what goes on? We meet once a week, either on Monday or Thursday, based on whatever works for our group's schedule. And at first we started out with 3 weeks learning about and measuring our intercultural competency. To me, that's the base of where we need to start in our education and action to counter bigotry across the state. After we spent time taking a good look at our own intercultural competencies and develop plans for how we can continue to grow that in ourselves and congregations, we spent a couple of weeks with South Dakota Voices for Peace Research Director Lori Miller. Lori's done 3 years worth of in-depth research about hate networks across the state of South Dakota. And really they come from outside of the state and into the state to infiltrate the thinking and emotions of South Dakotans that really very, very negatively has impacted our state. So that unfortunately, we have designated organizations in our state that are considered hate organizations by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Good afternoon. I am the Rev Dr MG Martel Spagnolo, Senior Pastor of the First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ.
Hi, my name is Ryan Otto. I'm also a pastor at First Congregational, United Church of Christ.
And we are here firstly to congratulate Voices of Peace on their 3rd year of making a difference in the community. Ryan was actually responsible for bringing them into the church building, and I am so excited that they are there.
I was thrilled when Tanisa and I started the conversation over a year ago about the possibility of our offices being at First Congregational. And so we've been really wonderful. They've been wonderful partners, and I'm really grateful for all the work you are doing. One of the ways in which I think I'm especially thrilled for joining with you as partners is the ways in which your mission and ours as a church align. We often draw from Old Testament scriptures in our work and in our ministry, particularly the words from Micah that we work together to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly, no matter what we're doing in our lives. and that we continue to do that mission together, not only as a staff and as a congregation, but with partners around us in this community.
It is so exciting to be working together in a community to make a difference, specifically a difference for justice for the most vulnerable in our community. So a big thank you to you all. I also want to put out a big thank you for inviting me to be part of the cohorts. It's a group of leaders from across the state that have a similar vision of what justice means and how to approach it, a similar vision on what it means to show love and consideration and go beyond what the expectations are to something broader and bigger and more beautiful. So it's a pleasure and an honor to be accepted into that wonderful community. Thank you. Please save me a piece of birthday cake. That's all I ask. Have a great day. And once again, congratulations.
Congratulations.